Okay, here we are with another modern matchup. We're playing blue, red, white twin, and our opponent is playing Storm. This is our opener. We've got the combo, but we don't have any red, which is a little unfortunate. But I think I'm going to take a chance on this hand. It's not the absolute worst. And we can possibly draw a couple of cards off these Remands. Plenty of probes. And then sleight of hands. Not really quite sure what he's on yet. And I'm just going to play out the Colonnade. And probes again, and plays a Pyromancer's Ascension, which is not entirely what we want to see. We've got an Arid Mesa here, so we can actually find the red mana that we want, which is good. Just going to play the Deceiver out here. Might as well. Probably going to have a difficult time for this matchup, but figured I might as well try and do some beating down, even if it is fairly small beatdowns. So we draw a Wall of Omens, we're going to play that out, keep our Remand up. Managed to draw Splinter Twin, which is pretty nice. If we can find another red source before he goes off, then we can potentially win here. So he plays another Pyromancer's Ascension, which is definitely going to Remand, and well, it doesn't even really matter, but we are going to Remand it because we want to draw a card. Got 3 Remands in hand, so it doesn't seem like too bad a deal. If he replayed it, we would definitely Remand it again and try and find that second red, as we could just auto win, and it would be very likely that he'd have a way to deal with Deceiver Exarch. Oh yeah, that's what I do at the end. At the end of turn, since I know he's probably not running much in the way of creatures as a Storm deck, maybe Goblin Electromancer, but I'm not too worried about that. I'm actually just going to pass my Wall of Omens to get the second mountain. I think I actually hold back from Splinter Twinning here. I could have twinned, but I'm concerned the fact that he didn't replay the Ascension kind of implies that he might have some way to deal with the Exarch. So I think I'm just going to hold up my Remand and play out the Wall of Omens, drawing us into a Scalding Tarn, which means we've got another red source. This way we can actually we actually drew Spellskite, but in theory we could have Splinter Twinned with Remand backup. So if he doesn't tap out, it seems very unlikely that Remand's going to be much good against whatever spell he plays. But we draw a Spellskite here, so just going to play that out and then go for the twin. He's going to have a lot of action to deal with a Spellskite and an Exarch, and it seems pretty doubtful that he's going to be able to stop me from winning here. So go for it, and indeed that wins this game. There's very little that he could have actually done here beyond some number of bolts into maybe a grave shot or something. Either way, it's pretty bad for him. If he had actually succeeded in doing that, as we would just go on to win the game, I think. Could Kiki Wall of Omens, draw some cards, etc. So yep, that was game 1. On to game 2. So this is our opener. Got a couple of our sideboard cards. Brought in Ajani Vengeant here. Seems as though well, no particular reason for bringing in Ajani Vengeant. Just seems like a pretty good card. He's not going to have a lot of ways to interact with it, and it might be able to slow him down a bit. So brought in that. Disenchant is obviously for his Pyromancer's Ascension, so that's pretty good. We've also got Izzet Charm, which might be able to counter an Ascension, depending on what turn he plays it. First turn Serum Visions, just going to lead off with a Tarn. Going to get some Mountain, plays Mana into Sleight of Hand. So he's drawn a few cards there, but nothing too scary happened just yet. We draw Rest in Peace, which I'm just could have held up Disenchant or Izzet Charm, but I think Rest in Peace is so good against his deck that it's well worth doing. Storm decks, he might be running Past in Flames, we don't know, but even if he isn't, it pretty much turns off Pyromancer's Ascension altogether, making it a completely dead card, so I think that's a good thing to do. So he plays Steam Vents, Sleight Hands. We're just going to pass here, keep up Izzet Charm. He plays an Electromancer, which I'm going to try and kill with Izzet Charm. It's not a massive deal, but I don't really want him to be able to storm off of the cards. He's still got quite a lot of cards in hand, and I don't want him storming without the aid of Pyromancer's Ascension, which is much more likely if he's got an Electromancer out. Unfortunately, that gets hit with the Dispel, but we're fine. I'm going to pass the turn. Could have actually played Ajani Vengeant and -3 and -2 to kill the Electromancer. Might have actually been a better play here, but I think we're going to go for just dropping out the Restoration Angel. Fortunately, my opponent has a Combust, although in some ways that is quite fortunate in that he's sideboarded quite hard against our deck, which kind of dilutes his deck somewhat. I don't know what's going on there. I'm trying to create a game. Let's see if we can close that. So we're just going to play out Colonnade here, like Wall of Omens, so we're no longer getting attacked by Electromancer. Again, probably playing out the Vengeant would have been better, but I suppose this is one way of doing things. Yeah, Echoing Truce the Rest in Peace, and then proceeds to Manamorphose, play Ascension, and then just Grape Shots, killing off the Wall of Omens and dealing about 1 damage to me, I think. So, not the dramatic turn that I was expecting. I thought he might be able to storm off now that he'd bounced the Rest in Peace, but that doesn't appear to be the case. So he attacks me down to 11. I'm going to disenchant the Ascension to see if he has any reaction to that, which he doesn't, and seems pretty. Get my Vengeance out. Gonna kill the Electromancer. I could have just kept it tapped down, but I think the reduction it gives to his instants and sorceries is a little bit too powerful to keep around, and it's basically the only threat he's got at the moment, while I'm a little light on threats. Although I've got Colonnade, which I can start activating soon enough. I'm going to play Rest in Peace, and we're in a fairly good position now. And yeah, my opponent concedes. I doubt he's got much else going on really. We've kind of shut off all his avenues. He's down to a very small number of cards in hand, and we're going to start getting aggressive soon. We could probably would just attack with Colonnade next turn, and maybe try to keep +1ing Ajani, I guess, until we could potentially eliminate it. And yeah, pretty sure we've got that one wrapped up. As soon as we find more creatures and so on, I think we'd have that one made. So yeah, that was an interesting matchup. Don't see much Storm these days, but we still have some good hate cards against it in our sideboard, and they managed to work out well.